This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, real MVPs? Welcome in to another episode of Heel Talk, brother. This is Ricky Widmer along with, what am I doing the Hulk Hogan point? Or am I just am I DJ Jazzy Jeff today? Just throwing it out there. Hey, what's up? Hey, yo, chico. But Ricky Widmer here, along with my brother, Soapy Muffin brother. He might be a soapy mother, but he is a part of the Mega Powers, brother.
Oh yeah, brother. I don't know why. I always just do sound constipated. I don't sound anything like Macho Man every time I do it.
Oh, it just reminds me of the one. It
progressively gets worse.
It reminds me of the one dude I saw that I sent our group chat the reel of, where he's like, "Oh, I heard the Macho Man was here, brother. He's here somewhere. I'm looking for him." And he flips over this way, and it's like "Oh yeah, where's the Hulk Hogan, man? I'm here to find him."
I wish one of us was as good as Will Sasso is at doing impressions, because then at least it'd be worth it.
Dude, you know what? Bad impressions sometimes are just as funny, if not better, than good impressions.
Yeah, I don't know. Did I ever send it to the Instagram group? The Will Sasso's impression of Jake the Snake?
No, but I listened to that recently.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
He is weirdly good at impressions in general.
Yeah. Well, it's just because he gets the cadence right. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, it's all about the cadence. If you can get the cadence, the most interesting thing, and I know Heel Talk, we'll get into things in a second, but the most interesting conversations that I love to listen to, even though he's overplayed and he's probably the most mainstream impressionist, but hearing Frank Caliendo talk about how he pinpoints a voice is impressive to me. Or voice actors talk about where exactly they have to put their voice in order to get a voice to work. That's why I always
love when people when voice actors are "Oh, I'll teach you how to voice act. First do this," and it's no one knows how to do that.
Yeah.
Don't act like that's the easier thing.
I also
be place the back of your tongue at the top of your throat, and it's wait, what? You can do that?
It's like a he sound. I only know that because clarinet players do that. You want a high tongue in the back for your high notes, Soapy. You want that high tongue in the back, low tongue in the front.
And it's all right, guys, have fun. All right.
But we are here to talk wrestling. Talk about the WWE Draft today. We kind of teased this in our predictions for Backlash that happened, which, Soapy, congratulations. A perfect pay-per-view for myself and you. The first of many where Soapy and I are going to go perfect predicting pay-per-views, but this one was kind of a little chalk for Backlash. But we're talking WWE Draft today. Before we get into it, quick housekeeping. Number one, Discord links down below. If you're not in the Discord, greatest community in the world, you can also join and fill out the prediction sheet that we do for every PLE and pay-per-view for AEW and WWE. Great community we got with all the fans and everyone a part of MVP. If you want to support us, Patreon link is down below as well, along with all of our socials you can follow. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and obviously comment down below to help us out, especially that like button. The algorithm, I hear this thing called the algorithm, Soapy, really likes the like button more than anything else.
Yeah, well, it also bounces around, because sometimes it likes it when you comment.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it likes it whenever you like.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, 90% of the time they never care about sharing.
Yeah.
But share anyways. That's how you grow the fan base.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
see, this is why we got you
most
on.
Of the time, it's a cruel mistress, the algorithm is.
You bow down to the algorithm? Is that what YouTube wants us to do?
Yeah, it's like the old sailor's tales of you gotta say a prayer to the algorithm.
But Soapy, we're talking about the draft today, and this all came up because you had a thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, you just told me this not even 10 minutes ago, but I could get it wrong. You believe that Raw is more stacked after the draft than SmackDown is.
Yes.
Okay.
I am a very big proponent in believing that Raw's roster is vastly better than SmackDown's right now.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the roster really quick after the draft. These are the people who were actually drafted. There were also others added after, like Dijak was added to Raw. But I'm going to read the rosters, and I'm going to let you take it since this is your baby. So first off on SmackDown, the protected picks, Cody, undisputed champion, Bayley, women's champion, Logan Paul, U.S. champion, A-Town Down Under, the tag champs. Those guys aren't moving. Then the actual draft picks, Bianca Belair, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, Nia Jax, LA Knight, The Bloodline, AJ Styles, Andrade, The OC, Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander, and Asante the Adonis, Jade Cargill, KO, The Pride, Tiffany Stratton, Legado del Fantasma, Shinsuke Nakamura, Naomi, Chelsea and Piper, Pretty Deadly, Candice and Indy, DIY, Blair Davenport, Apollo Crews, Giovanni Vinci, and Tegan Knox. Whereas Raw has Damian Priest, Becky Lynch, Sami Zayn, Awesome Truth. Those were the protected ones. Then Raw gets Jey Uso, Seth freaking Rollins, Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan, Ricochet, Sheamus, Alpha Academy, Kiana James, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. Ivar, Imperium, Damage Control, CM Punk, Braun Strowman, the LWO, Drew McIntyre, the Judgment Day, Ilya Dragunov, the New Day, Lila Valkyria, the Final Testament, Big Bronson Reed, Natalia, Caden Carter, and Katana Chance, Odyssey Jones, Dijak, the Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile, and New Catch Republic. Take it away, Soapy. You think Raw is more stacked than SmackDown?
Yeah, I think it's just because the main thing is like, and I will even like say it now. SmackDown's women's division is better. Because it's deeper and it's not all of it's not half the talent is basically locked in.
Your main focus is the men's division, though.
Yeah, to me, the men's division is so crazy. Because like right now, so I made a list of basically like the people that are like the big players. Now, mind you, some people may view them as big players, some people may not. But like, the fact that I can just rattle off the names of Drew, Punk, Priest, Jay, Gunther, Ilya, Breaker, Sammy, Gable, Sheamus, Finn, and Seth. And that's just like the core of their men's division. That's also ignoring, as much as I don't like Bronson Reed, he's there. You have Ivar, who can have good matches, Dijak, who can have good matches. Like, it's crazy to me, the fact that they were like, oh, hey, all the call-ups, here you go, Raw, you get all the good ones. Like, I mean, Melo's good, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing Melo when I say that. But, like, realistically, like, I think Ilya's better than Melo. Where it's like, so Raw got the one up for the call-up. They also, made a big deal about Braun Breaker being on SmackDown while he's on Raw now. Where it's just, to me, it's absolutely insane that they were just like, you know what, guys? Let's put all this really good, like, absolute barn burner talent on one brand. It'll be like, SmackDown, you get, like, 4 people who are barn burners. Have fun. Oops.
Yeah, so I'm thinking here. I'm looking because my first reaction, and when you said this in our predictions, my first gut reaction was like of shock, because I was getting ready to say, before you said what you did, that Raw got the short end of the stick. And now I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, was I thinking that because I'm looking at names like Cody Rhodes, who's obviously the biggest star in the company right now, even bigger than Roman. Tribal Queef fans can come after me. Logan Paul, big star. Randy Orton's a big name. Carmelo Hayes, like, maybe with Carmelo, I'm thinking what he's going to become. He was a main eventer in NXT. I feel like he's going to be a main eventer one day in WWE. LA Knight, they have him on the mid card right now, but let's be honest, that's somebody who could be a made Carter. Maybe they missed the point there or missed the opportunity for that. AJ Styles could be main event. Johnny Gargano could be your not main eventer. I'm seeing him as the perfect future IC champion one day. And then like KO, like maybe it's because SmackDown I think has a lot of tweeners. KO can go between mid card and main event. AJ Styles can go between mid card and main event. Maybe LA Knight, that's what he turns into. He's fighting for the main card. Oh, he's going for the mid card, and he kind of tweens. Randy at this point in his career, I think kind of can fall into that. But like, is that what I'm thinking? Like, oh, SmackDown doesn't have the better roster. They just have a more versatile roster. It's basically Cody and everybody else.
Yeah, and that's where my main problem I have with it comes in. Of like, to me, like I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, but Roman's still on SmackDown. He's not gonna be around for like 7 months. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, and when he comes back, he's gonna feud with The Rock.
Yeah, and then even when he comes back, Raw's roster is still better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the thing for me is the fact of like I always look at a roster like from the top. Like, okay, who's the most important person on that roster? The fact that Raw has like 3 people that they can kind of fluctuate with right now, because realistically, they're gonna push Punk when he's healthy. They literally just had Drew as a champ for 10 seconds, and now they have Damian Priest. Now, mind you, realistically, Damian Priest isn't gonna do anything when he loses the belt. Let's be real here.
I don't know, dude. I think Trips likes Damian. I would like him to go back. The thing is, I would like Damian to go back to being the Archer of Infamy once he's out of Judgment Day.
Yeah, I definitely think I need to see him post Judgment Day to see where I land with him again.
He's got that JD stank on him in 2 ways, more than one way. He's got him in 2 ways.
Yeah, but then it's also just the fact of like, okay, you have those 3. Then literally right afterwards, Gunther's waiting in the wings for his chance.
Yeah.
Like, probably by sometime next year, Ilya will probably be a mid-card champ, or at least be fighting for one, or even in the main title picture.
Yeah,
who knows when they finally pull the trigger on Jey Uso? Because
Gunther will be champion. First off, tell me this. It's got to be like an 85 to 90% chance that Gunther is champion at Bash at Berlin, no?
I think there's a chance. The only thing is, I think it's entirely dependent on how they go with the Drew CM Punk stuff.
Good point.
Because I think Clash at the Castle is, if CM Punk's not getting directly involved, I think that's when Drew is going to be champion. Because realistically, kind of give Damian that little title reign, feel it out, see like how it goes.
Because this is the Drew injury, so we're recording this on Monday. I know, terrible time to record. As Raw happens. One thing I forgot to say is we don't know if there's going to be a trade. Apparently there's been rumors that all trades need to be done before the start of Raw. So like right now is when Raw's starting. So like I guess there might be one that happens while we're recording this, but it's like I look at it and the one question I was going to ask is the Drew injury, real injury or kayfabe?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay.
I think it's they had talked about that Drew had messed up his shoulder, or not his shoulder, his elbow. To where, like, realistically, they're probably just keeping him out of the tournament because they're probably like, we probably don't want the guy we're going to have challenging, for the main belt in like a couple months.
Yeah.
Losing in the tournament. Because realistically, he's not going to be king of the ring.
No, you know who needs to be king of the ring?
Sheamus.
Burger after burger after burger. The Burger King.
The Burger King.
The Burger King.
Yeah. Well, like, I think it's the fact that, like, Raw, like, to me, SmackDown has a lot of interchangeable stuff, but there's also no one really on that roster that I'm like, I could see beating Cody.
Yeah.
It's realistic. It feels like the roster is so heavily built around Cody right now. Because realistically, like, he's not dropping the belt this year. Like, he's not dropping the belt till sometime, like, maybe next year, even a year after that. Where basically it's like, it feels like it's just kind of placers of like, oh, hey, we don't really have a plan for AJ. Here you go, AJ.
Well, and
hey, Baron Corbin, they called the tag partner.
Well, and I was going to throw this out there of, is the reason why they're basically, we see the draft like this is, could one reason be the Netflix effect? You want more main eventers on your Netflix brand. They want to make Netflix happy because let's be honest, USA is just happy WWE's still there. And like USA is like hey, we've been working for a long time. You like us, we like you. Hey, everything's fine. We're just happy to have you a part of the brand so that we can show Law and Order before and after your program.
Yeah, we can have shock value to kids who have never seen Law and Order before.
The second
and they get jump scared by the weird stuff that happens.
The second reason, like I think about, is did they do it the way they did because of Cody? The Cody effect is what I'll call the second one, and mainly it's okay. We know that The Rock will be coming back after he films his movie. We know that Roman's coming back. Is it basically, hey, we've got enough guys who can have good matches with Cody like we saw at Backlash until The Rock and Roman come back, Cody and The Rock do something, and then that breaks off into it breaks off into The Rock versus Roman, and yet again, this maybe breaks off into a different conversation, but that's why I kind of worry that Cody's title reign and people are going to say, this is why Cody's not good. This is why The Rock this is why the Roman is better because Roman. That's what people are going to say. That's what they're going to sound like, by the way. But like, I worry that Cody's title reign is going to get boring quick because they're just waiting for The Rock and Roman to come back to finish part 2 of the story that was finished at WrestleMania. Well, finished, but they got to keep going with it.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact of like they have like one, we've already heard the rumor that like they have no major plans for Cody till Rock and Roman are back,
which is a problem, if true.
Yeah, to where it's like, to me, I look at it this way of like, I don't think Cody's title should be the one that's stuck in the middle of a feud that doesn't need the belt. Obviously, realistically, it's gonna end up being Rock versus Cody. Like that's what'll just happen. Of like we'll get Rock Cody, and then we'll probably get Roman Cody again. But, like, my whole thing is just, I don't like that they built the roster to where it feels like there's this big gap next to Cody. To where, like, to me, I look at it where I'm like, everyone I see on the SmackDown roster, I'm like, I don't see you being a champ this year. Like, the fact that, like I said, with Raw, there's multiple people that I'm like, I could see you making an argument for them being a champ by the end of the year. Because realistically, they have not shut up about Jay's entrance at Backlash on Twitter. They have not shut up about it. They've started to play it at like NBA games. They've tweeted about it like 30 times. Like they are obviously very high on Jay.
Can I say an unpopular opinion?
Sure.
And people are gonna say I'm a hater for this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Bad Bunny's entrance was better.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Bad Bunny's entrance was 10 times better.
I'll say, like, I think the France crowd was better overall. I think for individual entrances, I don't think that any of them are going to top up the Bad Bunny entrance. But, like, that's the thing. Over, like, you have all of these people that it's like, okay, they're, like, it's hard to determine who's next in line for the title, for Raw at least, because it's like, okay, like, because there's actual legitimate choices you could go to.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the fact that it's, like, the second best case for, like, a title change on SmackDown is, like, possibly KO. I'm like, that, like, mind you, I love KO. I'm not saying it is a negative, but, like, the drop-off of where it's, like, KO as champ would just feel weird. And, like, it wouldn't feel natural. Like, and obviously I know people are going to be like, oh, but that doesn't matter as long as Cody's got the belt. The thing is, to me, there's a level of, like, okay, how much competition do you give to Cody that it feels legitimate that he has to actually defend it?
Yeah.
Realistically, like, I know I'm going to sound like a hater, and I mean this in the nicest way I can. AJ's not a main eventer anymore.
No.
AJ, at this point of his career, is a mid-card guy.
Well, and that's what I even...
it because it pains me.
I hate saying it. Randy Orton, kind of in the same spot.
Yeah.
He's not a main eventer anymore.
Yeah, they're relying on, like, the old... I can't even really say old guard for AJ, because he hasn't even been there that long compared to at least Randy. But, like, they're relying so much on, like, the old guard of wrestling to still be there and, like, able to hold up their end of the bargain. But it's like, how long until, like, Randy's not able to hold up that well? You know, like obviously, like you know, I think with Randy's style, he can keep working for a while. Randy doesn't rely on his athleticism for anything.
Yeah.
Like all he relies on his athleticism for is to be able to jump up for the RKO.
And here's the other thing that kind of just popped into my head, right? Is the fact that so Roman held the title for so long to where it almost like it's almost normal. So like I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but there's a part of me that goes, well, if Roman held it for that long and Cody's not just chopped liver, Cody's got to hold it. Like, part of me is like, he's got to hold it for a year plus, right? But then there's a part of me that goes, when do you, like, could you realistically, and I don't think this is a bad thing, by the way, is there a point where it's like, hey, in the story, this person should beat Cody, but guess what? Then Cody wins it back. Like, my childhood is what I think of. There were times X person would win it, and then the next time they fight, the other person will win it back. It made it actually feel like actual competition rather than like, oh, we're just gonna put this on a guy for over a year because we want the shiny belt to prop him up because this is my GM.
Yeah. Or like that's the thing. It's just to me, I think that the way that the roster is structured, like I don't think we'll ever get back to a point where titles bounce around. Like I think it's just wrestling's moved past that. And to where like, and I look at it of like, to me, I think like the closest I think you could get to having that sort of feeling of like anyone could win the belt at any time is Raw.
Yeah.
Like Cody's reign realistically, like I said, is lasting a year.
You know what I would love though? And this is just me thinking, like, not right now, but at some point before WrestleMania, you could even have it be like Bash at Berlin, or you could have it be SummerSlam. SummerSlam would probably be the hot spot for this. And what I'm thinking of is kind of a like 3 pay-per-view cycle kind of a thing, because you get it in like 3s or maybe 2s. Works out fine, but like if Cody lost the title at SummerSlam, they had a second match and at the next pay-per-view, and then Cody wins it back. Maybe SummerSlam, and then wins it back at Bash at Berlin. Maybe loses at Bash at Berlin. You take War Games off because that's a special thing. And then he wins it back at the Royal Rumble. But I look at guys like Carmelo Hayes or LA Knight would be the only two that it's like, in the storyline, you kind of put it in there of like, Cody's not buried because he wins it back, but it becomes one of those things where when he didn't have it and had to win it for Dusty, he had the hunger. He was hungry for the championship, and now that he's been champion for a while, he's kind of taken a little bit like, he's relaxed a little bit, haven't really been on his A game. Oh, I've been I've been slacking, and basically it would be like, oh, you slacked, your opportunity, you messed up one spot in that match, and it cost you the title. I don't think that'd be the worst thing in the world. Will they do it? No.
Yeah, I think it's the whole problem of like wrestling is kind of just moved past like the short little snappy title reigns of where like now it's
unless
like,
it's transitional.
Yeah, and then even at that, like how often do we really have transitional champs anymore? Like the most recent transitional champs I could think of are in
Cody
AEW.
and Jey Uso.
Yeah, like all right.
Transitional back to the Judgment Day.
Yeah. Like outside of, them being like, guys, look, Jay is a single star, guys. He's a singles guy.
Do you feel him, sir?
Tag belt with someone new.
Do you feel him, sir? Dude.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's so tough right now because the problem I have with the SmackDown roster is like, yes, they have a lot of tweeners, but I don't know if they have that reliable second guy yet.
Yeah.
Because it's realistic, like with everyone that's left, like who's the big bad guy for Cody to go against?
bad guy
Like
on SmackDown.
he's like, what is it? Solo? Yeah. Like what is it? Solo? Solo's the only one I could think of because where it's like realistically, you're not gonna have Solo go after Cody yet because they're gonna wait until Rock or Roman's back.
Mm-hmm.
Warp and Bloodline 2.0, aka all I'm saying, when Jacob Fatu shows up, we're gonna see like 2007 LeBron Jacob Fatu running around. The way he's gonna put the Bloodline 2.0 story on his back.
It's not. See, here's the problem. You know, it's a feud I would actually like for Cody. Him versus Logan, but Logan's not dropping that belt before SummerSlam, and The Rock and Roman will be back at SummerSlam. Like, Roman's next scheduled appearance is the SmackDown before SummerSlam.
Yeah, like, it's such a tough situation to be in right now. And, like, that's why I don't like the construction of SmackDown's roster. Is it's so reliant on when when Rock and Roman come back that they just fill that gap. Or like, realistically, I guarantee when they come back, the roster's gonna feel equal. Like, the problem is, of like, you can't just book for the idea of, like, oh, like, 4 months down the line when they do come back. Like, you have to book for, like, okay, what do you do in that 4-month gap?
Yeah.
Because realistically, like, there's not really, like, a big bad guy for Cody to go against. Because, like, they drafted a lot of baby faces. Like, what, are you going to keep Mello as a heel? Mello's not even really a heel.
Yeah, I think...
His bad guy character is just him normally.
It's just him hating on Trick.
Yeah, that's literally all they did, was he's just like, I don't like you, Trick. And they're like, okay, you going to do anything else? No. I'm the same person. I just hate Trick now. And we're like, dude, we hate that you don't like Trick.
We hate that you don't like Trick. I mean, now I'm looking at Raw's roster, and it's like... Here's the problem with Raw's roster, though. And I think it's a dual-end problem, is... So I was talking to Jake earlier. Jake and I disagree. He doesn't see Damian Priest as a main event guy. I could see Damian Priest being a main event guy. Is he right now? We're trying him out as a main event guy. The problem is, like you and I said, Judgment Day. It's got the stink of JD McDonough and Judgment Day just all over him, reeking. That's why he wants to get away.
I love that we act like Judgment Day sucks, but like most of the members are good besides JD McDonough.
It's run its course.
Yeah.
But like the Tribal Chief, it's run its course.
It's especially hit a rough point that the leader of the group and most important member, by the way, I said that since day one.
And the most entertaining person of the group.
Yeah.
Is gone.
Is not there.
But so,
like I said, everyone owes me an apology for when I said that Rhea Ripley was the best member of Judgment Day early on. All of you owe me an apology. I was right.
So here's the thing. Jey Uso, question mark by him, because they're pushing him like he could be a main eventer. They say he's a main eventer. I don't feel it yet. I feel like he's a guy that they call main event Jay, but he's a mid-carder dressed up like a main carder. Not saying that not saying that he never will be main event, but that's how I feel when I portray him right now.
Yeah, like to me, he gives off a lot of like the way Jeff Hardy was. Of where like he's a fan favorite, everyone loves him, but like
part of a tag
really
team,
the guy,
part of a tag team. That is actually a really good comparison. I love that.
Yeah, where it's
he's known for one move.
Yeah, where it's just like it's one of those problems of like of where it's that figuring out if he can break that glass ceiling of where Jeff was.
He comes out and all he does is dance. He's got a dance that he does.
Yeah,
for Jay, it's yeeting all over everybody. Sorry to yeet on everyone on this podcast. And then for Jeff, it was let me throw my arms in the air.
I'm also pretty sure. I think it's also Jay's voice doing his song, and Jeff came out to his own song he made.
That is actually a like big brain analogy, Soapy. Like people need to acknowledge you for that. I'll acknowledge you. What's up, brother? That's how we acknowledge on Heel Talk. What's up, brother?
Yeah, no, like I think he's gonna run into like the Jeff Hardy problem. Over like he's gonna be a fan favorite. Everyone wants to see him as champ, and then when he's champ, like okay, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, he almost kind of has that, like, that underdog in him.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like people want to root for him because, like, he's not the big important member of the Judgment Day. Or not Judgment Day, of the Bloodline. Alright, they basically became one and the same there in my mind. But, like, where he's kind of the, like, I don't want to say chop liver of the group, but realistically, like, he's not more important than Roman.
And I'm going to say this. Jey Uso is just going to be the LA Knight of Raw.
Yeah. I think I will honestly say, like, as much as I want, like, there to be a trade that sends Jey to SmackDown, the only thing is, I don't think SmackDown needs Jey.
Plus, I want the Bloodline and him to be
SmackDown
separate.
Yeah. Like, no, I think it's to me, what I think that Raw or SmackDown honestly would need is someone like Gunther.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, right now, Solo's the big monster, well, air quotes, monster of the roster, of where, like, and all he's doing is fighting KO.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I just look at it of where it's like, okay, SmackDown's missing that big heel, which is going to be filled in when Rock and Roman come back. But the problem is, like, okay, you have to hold over until one of them comes back, which then is hoping that people still care about Cody by then. Which it's like, people, like, it's the whole thing of, like, one, Cody's title reign to me, now, mind you, I am lower on Cody than a lot of other people are. Like, mind you, and I like Cody, I like his theme song and everything. To me,
very quickly, where do you feel on the people that want Cody to become a heel?
I think Cody plays better as a heel than he does as a babyface. The only thing is Cody doesn't want to be a heel.
Yeah. I compare it to how John Cena never wanted to be a heel, and Cody will never be a heel.
Well, I mean, there were a couple times Cena wanted to be a heel. It was just that they never wanted to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing of, like, you are the biggest person in the company. We can't have that company.
You're the biggest face of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, to where it's like, we just got off of, the biggest name in the company being a heel. Where it's like, now we need that triumphant run of, like, the baby face. Of, like, guys, the good guys are in charge again until the bad guys come back.
Until the bad guys come back.
But yeah, like, it's realistically, like, that's my main problem I have. Of, like, to me, like I said, I'm lower on Cody than everyone else is. Like, I still like him. Like, I just look at it this way, of, like, there's a shelf life to what Cody does compared to, like, what someone like Roman could do. Mind you, and now, I'm a Roman hater, I've openly bashed Bloodline. The Tribal Chief character at the very start I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But that's an easy heel character to keep going.
It was also new and fresh.
Basically just where it's like, to me, the kind of, like, I'm the super good guy that no one ever gets tired of. Is like, I watched this with John Cena, and I saw 4 years into Cena's run, people already started booing him.
Yeah.
And now people can be like, well, that's 4 years. And it's like, yeah, except people get booed a lot faster now than they used to. Like, that's the thing.
Blame
where,
Twitter.
like, it's the weird duality that I've noticed in wrestling, that it's flip-flopped. Of where, like, people cheered for people more back in the day, but their title reigns were shorter. Now it's people get tired of wrestlers faster, but their title reigns are longer. Like, now, mind you, there could be, a bit of crossover.
Correlation there of, like, maybe oversaturation, people get bored, and then they start hating.
I think it's also just how easy it is to access wrestling now, to where it's like, anytime I want to watch wrestling, I can watch it.
Like, I just... Here, and I keep looking at the Raw roster thinking of this, Soapy. Like, back with I know we were talking about Cody and stuff for a second, but, like, this Raw roster, like, Gunther's gonna be the one to take the belt off of Damian, no?
Like I said, I think it depends on what they do with Drew.
I really don't think that. I don't think that that feud needs a belt.
Trust me, I don't think it does either, but this isn't the first time WWE's been like, you know what, this feud is getting a belt even though it doesn't need it.
Yep.
Like, where it's the whole thing of, like, realistically, I think Gunther should be the one to take it off of him. I think either Gunther or Drew.
Yeah. You know what?
It's mostly just because I've also held the opinion of, since Punk came back, of, like, Punk does not need a belt anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Like, Punk is, like, I know I'm gonna say it, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, Soapy hates CM Punk." I will give Punk his flowers. He's bigger than any belt the company has.
Yeah. You know what I almost
Like,
think
he
of?
makes the future.
And I don't know if this would work. Bash at Berlin, triple threat match, Damian, Ilya, Gunther. And
I feel like that's pushing Ilya to the top a little too quick, though.
But just wait here. Gunther wins. We then get flash forward to the Royal Rumble. Ilya wins the Royal Rumble, chooses to face Gunther because you were the reason I lost that title. WrestleMania is where we start. See, is that something then where it's like, wow, then we have to crown Ilya? How many times does the Royal Rumble winner lose?
Yeah, like it's one of those things of
who was the last
like,
Royal Rumble winner to lose? Cody. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Took me a second, guys. Took me a second.
Yeah, Tori, like it's one of those things of like, I think the main event scene is on lock for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's enough people that like they can kind of have Ilya build up like the fan for, like, for going like for the IC belt. Like, to me, I think it's the, like, obviously, you know, like, they pushed Mello extremely fast by being like, hey, Mello, your first match in the main roster is against Cody, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, it's Ilya's at the point of where it's like, Carmelo had already been seen on the main roster by that point. Because he had his match with Theory. Mind you, it doesn't help the last thing they saw in that match was Theory and Mello almost dying.
Yeah.
They both fell on their heads. But, like, you have a situation of where it's like, you kind of need to ease people in with Ilya to kind of get more of, like, the behind, I don't want to say behind the scenes look, more of that, like, getting them used to seeing Ilya, getting them used to seeing the fact that, you know, like, this is what Ilya's character is.
With the rosters, like, and
Melo's
how they're...
character's more of just, like, eh.
With the rosters and how they're shaped up right now, early on look, not for sure prediction, obviously, because we're like a year away, but looking at the rosters as they are now, who would be your kind of gauge to potentially be the Royal Rumble winner? Like, is it a SmackDown guy? Is it a Raw guy? NXT guy?
I think it's going to be someone from Raw. The only thing is, it's such the weird mixture of, like, okay, who by that point is champ? Because realistically, if it's Gunther's champ, I could see Ilya being the winner. Who knows if Ilya ends up taking the belt off of him or not. Like, if it's Drew, I could see them doing something like Jey Uso winning it. Like, realistically, I will say, until my face is blue, I need to see more from Jey. I need to see Jey be able to do stuff on his own without needing someone who's better than him in the ring to carry him to a good match.
Yeah.
It's realistic. I'm not even doing that to bash the Jimmy match. I promise. It's not the only reason I'm bringing it up. But, like, I just look at it of where, like, anytime I look at, like, Jey Uso matches, he's never the best guy in the ring. And I know people are going to be like, oh, Soapy, blah, 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 like, in-ring work doesn't super matter. The only thing is, like, and I will entirely say, this is just my own preference. Like, I've always been an in-ring work over promo person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you can talk, anyone can talk when there's words put in front of them. Like, I mean, hell, I saw Karrion Kross have good scripted promos. You're not telling me that, you know, someone writing your promos can't help you. But, like, to me, I need to see the person that, like, can be a heavyweight champ, be that person who elevates the talent they're working with.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I don't think that Jey has that. So, like, that's why I'm hesitant to say he could be a Royal Rumble winner. But, like, realistically, let's say that, like, they do like the way that Damian Priest is as a main eventer, and they really do enjoy it when he splits away from Judgment Day. He could be a person who could potentially win it. I don't think Drew would be in the running for it again, and it's just because, realistically, as much as I want to say Drew wins it again, so little 10-year-old me can be super happy that Drew does something good. Like, they probably just... I think it is going to be someone from Raw. I just don't exactly know who yet.
I got an interesting... Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, it's just, I just need to see where they go with Damian's title reign. If it ends at either Clash of the Castle or Berlin, then I'll be like, okay, like, realistically, then at that point, I can include him in the conversation of, like, okay, like, could he be a person who wins it?
So I got a weird fact. I got to look up 2 more names here for a second. So give me 1 second. Wait, that's interesting. Okay. So I'm looking at past Royal Rumble winners, right?
Yeah.
And out of the last 10 Royal Rumble winners, I'm putting a asterisk by 1 because I don't know if. Sorry, we're recording right as dinner was done. Shoot. Okay. So, okay. So out of the Royal Rumble winners, the last 10 winners, guess how many of them won at WrestleMania?
Like 7 of them. Oh, only 2 of them won?
So Cody, Brock, Edge all ran into Roman. That's 3 right there. Drew beat Brock. Seth Rollins in 2019. Oh, I'm sorry, 3. 3 of them won. Seth Rollins beat Brock in New York. Shinsuke Nakamura, little Dick Kick City. He didn't win that one. Randy Orton, he beat Bray Wyatt. That's 3. Triple H is a weird one. It says Trips won the Rumble in 2016, but he had the championship and lost at Mania.
Yeah, no. So remember, that was the year that they did the WWE Championship was on the line in the Rumble.
Okay.
Because that's the one where they almost had Roman run the gauntlet and then Triple H came out and won it.
So he lost at Mania, though. So far we only have 3 people have won. And then Roman, 2015, greatest cash-in of all time. He didn't win. So only 3 times in the last 10 years has the Royal Rumble men's winner actually won at WrestleMania. Now, you could say, well, Ricky, the last 3 kind of have asterisks because it was all Roman. Like, they just ran into the tribal chief. Actually, never mind. Numbers are skewed. 4 this year. Cody won this year. Yeah. So take out the cash-in of all time. It's 4. It's 4. It's 4. This was written before WrestleMania. So Cody this year, Drew in 2020, Seth in 2019, and then Randy Orton beating Bray Wyatt in 2017 are the only 4 people to win the Rumble and then win at WrestleMania.
Yeah, to where it's like, my only thing is, though, I think they're going to start leaning more into whoever wins, like actually winning at Mania. I think they're going to start leaning into that more.
Because I can already tell you who's going to be the women to win to Royal Rumble. I already know who's going to win it.
Who's that?
It's Tiffy time.
I mean, yeah, if she's not already...
She's either winning Money in the Bank or the Rumble. That's it. Like... Yeah.
I think she strikes me as a Money in the Bank winner.
So she can get the pink briefcase. Yeah,
we get the Tiffy time.
What if they do? What if we do both? Failed cash in into a Royal Rumble winner.
Let's not do another failed cash in, please. Can we please have it that these briefcases are actually used for good things?
Yeah, but go ahead. I cut you off.
If we're gonna keep the pay-per-view around, at least please let people actually cash in correctly.
Yeah.
Don't do anyone like Austin Theory did.
Do you think they actually will bring the ladder match back to WrestleMania?
I think they should.
They talked about it.
I think Money in the Bank's one of those gimmick pay-per-views. It doesn't need its own pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, now mind you, I know people are going to be like, oh, but then you can say it about other ones. Yes. That's why they're getting rid of a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, like, the only gimmick ones you can't get rid of, Elimination Chamber. Because how the hell else are you going to explain an Elimination Chamber happening?
That's not a gimmick. That's an event.
Yeah. But, like, it's one of those things where, like, it's the match stipulation pay-per-view. Yeah. Like, that's what they were talking about getting rid of.
That's a little...
Where it's like, yeah, you're not going to find a time that's all 6 of us hate each other so much. I want to fight you in this giant cage that has pods in it.
What about the all-time Bloodline Civil War at WrestleMania Elimination Chamber?
What? Yeah, do you know how annoying that would be setting up the
Roman,
arena for
Rock,
the Elimination
Solo,
Chamber?
Tonga, Fatu.
Which
Jimmy's injured, Talia or whatever his name is.
Oh, Tongaloa.
Tongaloa. There's 6 right there. Jimmy, I'm sorry. You're back with Jay. You're fighting Jay, buddy.
Man,
Round 2.
Fatu's just chopped liver.
No, Fatu was in there. I said he was in there.
Oh.
I said,
okay.
So Roman, Rock, Tonga, Solo, Fatu, and then Little Tonga. Okay. Jimmy gets booted to the back.
Probably... Yeah, sorry, Jimmy. You get to go hang out at catering.
Yeah, he was kicked out of the
set up the arena. Imagine having to set up an arena for something that's not just Elimination Chamber. Afterwards. Like, that's the whole reason why it's like you can't have a pay-per-view where it's just like random Elimination Chamber. Because like the seating arrangement of the arena changes because of the chamber.
Yeah.
Because you can't just drop that thing in the middle of it and be like,
Yeah. Figure it out.
Yeah, you'll be crushing some of the people in the front row, but like, I mean, remember, Pirates almost stole the Elimination Chamber last time. Not
Somalian Pirate. Was it Somalian Pirates? I think it was.
It was somewhere around there.
No, it was Somalian Pirates because instead of going across the Pacific, they sent it.
Yeah.
Kind
of like through the Mediterranean, through the I forget which canal it was.
The something straight.
Yeah. Sent it through there. And then Pirates almost got the ship, and they're like, oh wait, we almost lost the whole gimmick of the pay-per-view.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been funny.
That would have been it would have been really tragic, but really funny at the same time of like, how the hell did they steal the Elimination Chamber? Like, who do you sell that to?
Oh.
Like, you can't just get away with that, like, unless you're gonna melt the whole chamber down.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Imagine, how do you find someone to buy the Elimination Chamber?
You know what I'm thinking, Soapy? You completely changed my mind. I no longer think Raw has the worst roster after this draft. It is SmackDown, hands down. You know what else? Raw has more than SmackDown, and maybe it's because it's a 3-hour show. They have more tag teams, more legit good tag teams.
I mean, that's the thing. It's just realistically, WWE bounces back and forth on when they care about the tag titles.
Except SmackDown has the best tag team.
Yeah, they don't have an old man tag team running around.
Yeah, they got DIY. Because the tag teams on SmackDown, Bloodline OC, The Pride, Legado del Fantasma, DIY Pretty Deadly. Whereas Raw, they get... Oh, and also A-Town Down Under, because they were already on the brand. Raw gets Awesome Truth, Alpha Academy, Imperium, LWO, Judgment Day, New Day, Final Testament, the Creed Brothers, and New Catch Republic.
Yeah. They're just loaded.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see it personally.
Is this basically is this whole discussion just basically, they loaded up Raw because of Netflix?
Yeah, I think that's entirely what it's based off of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said before the show started of Raw's the cash cow now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the one who just secured the insane deal. Realistically, SmackDown, if whatever brand comes for SmackDown next, they're going to use the Netflix deal as the negotiation point.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to basically leverage it of you get Cody Rock and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, well, how many times of the month are we going to have Roman? They're like, debatable. Sometimes. But, realistically, that's why I just think it's at the point of where it's, they're loading up for Raw because they're going into the first year on Netflix at, the end of the year or something like that? I forget exactly when they're going to Netflix. But, they'll be going to Netflix. They'll have, their whole little TV deal going there. Or their deal for streaming. Where basically they'll just be like, alright guys, we're going to put on absolute banger after banger. And then we'll just figure it out from there. Realistically, I think after this year, we'll probably balance the rosters out more, because off the top of your head when SmackDown's deal is due?
They just did the new deal. They were all up at the same time.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, they were
Okay,
all. I
my bad.
believe they were all up at the same time. Let me check though. WWE.
You're most likely right. I don't know why I
SmackDown.
always forget when things are ready.
Yeah, so this was from February 29th. It was the first one that got done. SmackDown currently airs on Fox. The blue brand will be moving to the USA Network in October 2024. This will be part of a This will be part of a 5-year, $1.4 billion deal. So in February they mapped it out to where later this year they're moving. That's why everyone was like, "But wait, where's Raw gonna go?"
Yeah, and they're just like, "Screw you, cable."
You know what? It's an interesting move. I think it is. I know we said at the time. I think it's an interesting move that I also get people that say just bring back the WWE Network.
Yes.
But
yes, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Just bring it back.
But here's the other thing I will say, and I don't know if I mentioned this when we talked about it initially. The big criticism from the NFL when they had games on Peacock is that old people, and I don't mean this as like disparaging, like just older fans either didn't have Peacock, don't know what Peacock is, how do I get it, where's my game that's usually on NBC. Like they didn't know what to do, whereas I feel like wrestling's demographic is younger to where a move to a streaming service like Netflix isn't going to have much of that.
It's the weird thing of wrestling has such a mixed bag of fans. You're either old or young. There's like no in between.
Yeah.
There's not like I'm 40.
That's going to be me in a little bit. It's going to be me in like 6 years.
You know what I mean? Of like realistically, it's like kids will watch it. And like most kids have that moment that they stop watching it for a while, like typically like late, like
high
in
school.
Your teens, like like
high school. It's not cool anymore.
High school, a little bit into college, and then afterwards you're just like, dude, I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. You get to like the age of 24, 25, you don't care what anyone thinks anymore.
Ding ding
you just get back to watching it.
Ding ding ding. Oh, that Soapy just described my life, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, message to any of you out there that may be young enough that are like, I care what people think. I care what people think about me. Don't care what they think. All right.
It was
realistically.
It was more of like freshman, sophomore year. My friends that I was now making at my new school, they weren't into wrestling, but I still watched it. Then I kind of phased out completely. Then went to college. My boss in college was a huge wrestling fan. Kind of pulled me a little bit back. I'd keep up with I remember laying on my couch the night Seth Rollins cashed in, looking at Twitter going, "Oh, Seth cashed in. That's pretty cool." And then 2017, New Orleans, I'm back, baby. That Rumble season got me back into it, and I've been in it ever since.
Yeah, to where it's like, for all the young people out there, there's many times I will tell you, do not listen to anything I tell you because I'm terrible at giving advice.
But this is something.
This is the one bit of advice. If you listen to me on anything. Don't care what other people think about you because they won't matter in 10 years.
Yeah.
Don't be like, but guys, I don't like. I like wrestling and everyone else doesn't like it. Keep liking wrestling.
See,
like what you like.
Here's
unless you're into some weird stuff. Unless you're into some actual weird stuff, then stop watching it.
So
care what other people think about you then. But
here's the thing I think that wrestling also falls into, things that were for example, Marvel movies, superheroes. That was very wow, you're a nerd. Now people think it's all cool and it's casual. I think wrestling's starting to fall into the same thing of more people like it and it's more cool to like wrestling than it was back in the day.
Yeah, well, because now you finally have the crowd that's like, don't you guys know it's fake? Those guys are starting to realize wow. It's do you guys do the same thing when you watch a movie?
I remember vividly in college, one of the coworkers who loved wrestling was got into an argument with one of the other female DJs at the radio station. And she said "Don't you know it's fake?" And I was sitting there just like this, Soapy, and I turned in the chair and I go, I don't remember what her name was, but I'm like, "Don't you watch the Real Housewives of blank or something like that?" And she goes, "Well, yeah." I'm like, well, don't you watch this reality TV show? Well, yeah. I'm like, guess what? Just because they'll say reality doesn't mean they're not scripted.
Yeah,
How many times did Daniel Bryan talk about his reality show and be like, yeah, they staged everything?
Like, what a shocker. It's almost like they stage everything on reality TV. Because
you can't wear that shirt because you wore it already, and it might. Yeah, but I want to wear this shirt. I wore it 3 days ago. Yeah, but we're gonna use this in that episode, and you can. Yeah, but I want to wear this shirt. This is like, I like this shirt. I want to wear it.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of, like I said, the younger viewers out there, don't care what other people think.
Yeah.
Be yourself, like what you like. Don't be a weirdo about it, but like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
And just always know that even though you may be a loser, everyone's a loser in their own special way.
Well, Soapy, I think that's a great spot to end the podcast. As I will say again, Soapy changed my mind. I wasn't expecting oh, we're on divided lines, but like, I came in, you made your point, and you know what? I was kind of wrong in my opinion early on that Raw does not have the weaker of the brands. They have the stronger of the brands now following the draft.
Yeah. I mean, once again, like I said, once we see Rock Roman back, that discrepancy will massively close.
But until then, it matters. It's a whole year. It's basically the whole year. By the time they come back, we got 3 months, and then boom, it's 2025. Then it's WrestleMania season again.
Yeah. But like I said, that's... Once they come back, then we'll start seeing the, like, okay, this is where, like, the equality of it comes in.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to do it for Heel Talk this week. Let us know what you guys think down below in that comment section. Remember, Discord down below, Patreon down below, like button, socials, subscribe button, comment section. All of that is down below. Soapy and I will be back in 2 weeks. Because I don't think there's no pay-per-views on until the end of the month, Soapy.
Yeah, and then we'll probably be back with an episode of Heel Talk, then a prediction for whatever that pay-per-view is.
Yes. So
actually, wait, remember, isn't it 2 pay-per-views at the end of the month? Because it's double or nothing. And I guess Ricky, live on show.
Yeah.
Which one do we want to do the live reaction for?
I don't know.
I was gonna say that is kind of like a last-minute thing.
I don't know. We'll decide, because that week Monday's Heel Talk. Then we've got 2 predictions we have to do following Wednesday, and then we've got 2 pay-per-view. One's on Saturday, one's on Sunday.
Yep. So just keep posted, guys. We will let you know which one we'll be watching live. And watch along with you. Well, not with you, but you guys will be watching us react to it.
You'll be watching it with us. But yeah, May's a good year. May's a good year.
May is a good year.
It's a good year. It's been a good year.
Yeah, it's been what, 5? Not even 5 whole months yet.
Dude, I feel like it's been a year. To be honest with you, like, time is moving so slow for some reason for me. But thank you to everyone out there. We love you. We'll see you in 2 weeks. As always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
As always, we'd like to thank the people who make these videos possible, our patrons, whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you'd like to become a patron, click the link in the description below, and if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Entertainment, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.